So walk me through what's the number one lesson. You mentioned being over leveraged. So let's do a lesson, and then let's do what you would have done differently if you were
Yeah.
to do it again, which you kind of have.
What I would have done, lesson is don't ever get over leveraged. And number two, I hear a lot of people talk and everyone has different opinions about this. I'm not saying someone's right, someone's wrong. Based on my experience and the lessons that I've had over the last 5 years, especially the last 2 years, a lot of people say cash flow is king. I say cash is king because I know a lot of good operators in the industry that went through the exact same thing we did. But the difference was that we had the liquidity and cash to be able to push through it. It sucks to lose money, let these lenders out to dry. And sometimes like they even had mentality, like this mindset of like, oh, the lender also signed on the dotted line, like he also took risk, right? Which they're not wrong. I mean, I get where they're coming from, but for me, it's like my parents always taught me like do right by everyone, right? And if someone's putting money on the line for you, dude, like do right by him, right? Like, did they get a return? Yes, they did. I mean, should they have lost money if something would have gone wrong? Yes, they're also taking risk, but in our brain, it wasn't ever a choice to let the lenders lose their money.
So this is great, man, because I think a lot of people would have been like, "Hey, they're on this too. Like it's a risk for both of us." Besides just the integrity and what your parents taught you, and just your own value set, was there also a thought of, "All right, this is gonna hurt right now, but at the end of the day, we're gonna earn these people's trust." So when we get back into this game, we need more money.
Oh,
They're gonna be like, "Yeah, of course we'll go with Temp and
thousand
Miguel
percent, dude.
because these guys, when shit was going terrible, they still paid our returns."
1,000%, dude. Like that was our entire mindset. Like every single time, like, dude, when we were selling an asset and it was $100,000 loss, one of the strongest things was like we didn't have to write checks at closing because we self-funded every rehab. We did write some checks at closing, but it was like, dude, our lenders will always be happy, dude. Like that's what helped us in like this year. Like those same lenders, dude, like they don't even question. Like I would text our lender, which sadly he just passed away a couple weeks ago, but I would text him like, hey, dude, I'm buying 123 Main Street at this price. Can you fund? Yeah, like no questions asked now, right? It was such an easy process that, I mean, we earned that right to be able to text our lender, our address, how much we want, and closing date, and for him to just say, yes, what's the title company? So 100%, Jesse. That is one of the main reasons.
Yeah, and also let's actually talk about that because I think a lot of people, as they scale, I came from the thought process is I'm just going to self-fund everything because I was working in corporate America, was able to get big commission checks and just throw those at
Yeah.
houses to get my first few houses. But then at some point you're like, all right, my own capital is running dry. And I'm going to start partnering, doing JV deals or finding private money lenders. So walk me through your relationship of, how you look for and how do you find private money lenders?
So private money lenders are everywhere, dude. There's money like everywhere. There's so much money out there that I think I used to have a limited belief of like every time I found a private money lender, dang, dude, like that's awesome, which it
Someone's
is.
willing to invest with me, like with
Yeah,
their
which it
money.
is. I think one of my biggest, I mean, cheat codes was when I partnered with Temp. He was already like, let's say if there's levels 1 through 10, right, and 10 is like the top. He was like trending up there, and he was at a 6. He was still trending up there, right? He's successful, but dude, I'm a 3. I'm a 2 or 3. He elevated me to a 6 way faster than I could have done by myself. Would I have gotten there? 100%. It was a cheat code. Same with the relationships that he gave me. And that came with private money lenders and all that. And by me being able to say, like, dude, like, oh, you're partners with Templeton Walker? I'm like, oh, yeah, dude. All right. Like, it's a different conversation now. Like, it, as bad as it maybe is or not, but like, it just opens doors, right? And that plus being a good operator, being an ethical operator, and paying everyone back, your reputation is the biggest thing you have in real estate. Like our industry is a relationship driven industry, 100%. If I screw you over, Jesse, like, dude, word travels fast, and not is like they're not gonna be gossiping. Maybe they will, but dude, like, oh, dude, everyone knows each other. And let's say I screw a lender. Guess what? All the private money lenders, the ones we know, are friends. They hang out. Why? Because they're another level. They're another freaking, that's where we want to get to, right? And they all hang out. And if I go burn one, yeah, dude, Miguel, dude, he didn't pay me back. I had to foreclose on him. Well, guess what? When I asked money, it's like, oh, dude, I heard you got foreclosed on.
Yeah.
So
So it's such a good lesson, man. And you probably realize this, but there's a lot of intentionality in your life, bro. And I think it's a rare thing where you're thinking ahead. You're like, okay, like even going back to Steve, you're like, okay, I want to go learn from him. And then you're
yeah,
like, oh, I want to go learn from Temp. Oh, wait, now I could be a business partner. And also I could attach my name and the business that we're creating together to him. And I can leverage that in a good way to, now have private money lenders for, our business. Like there's so many lessons right there that I hope
Yeah,
the
dude.
audience is really picking up on. And I'm loving the story, and just the way
No.
you're sharing it is awesome.
No, well, thank you. I appreciate that, man. And it's doing everything by the right values. I think that's why Templeton and myself connected so well because dude, we share the exact same values, and it's faith, family and friends, health, and like the last thing we care about. I mean, everyone loves money, right? But the last thing we care about is money. Like I see Temp, dude, no better family man, right? And I don't have a family yet. But I look up to him and I'm like, dude, I tell him every time, like, when I'm a dad, dude, I'm going to be like you. Spends quality time with the kids. Like, nothing is more important to him than kids. And guess what? Like, because he follows his values, some way, somehow, money still finds its way through his door.